It's Big J's car stream. What is this? For you lovely two people that are currently watching, hopefully you're having a good day. Mate, Thursday night footy again. No complaints here. I'm happy. I'm excited. Let's get into it, guys. It's going to be a bit of a drive for me to get home today, so hopefully you guys are here. You're ready to go. You're having fun. Who's excited? I reckon Buddy's last game ever. Mate, it's a pretty good one. I tell you what, I remember when this guy was running around doing crazy stuff on field, you know, kicking bags like it was nobody's business. Always used to tear North Melbourne a new one whenever he played, well, when he was with Hawthorn, but then as well when he was with Sydney. Basically pioneered the massive contract length and contract amount as well, which now we've seen from players like Grundy and some other guys are just kind of being normal. So, yeah. DP, how you doing? Round reviews. Let's go, DP. I've missed out this week, but I should have one. Let's have a look tonight. I'll see about doing one tonight for you. I'll jump in and then do it for you. Thanks for the reminder as well. I actually did one for the live stream a couple of weeks ago. I'm not sure if you caught that or not. But, yeah, it's a bit of a tough one. There's just not much happening at the moment. Like, my team's done. I've got one trade left. I love the, you've got to make sure that you've got buy-round cover. Well, not buy-round, but bench cover as well. So, MJ, Mitch Johnson saving my butt this week. No Dunkley means I can run him through the middle. You know, it'd be amazing if someone like Sharp and a couple of other players got named as well, so I could have some real cover, but I don't think it's going to happen. We'll wait and see. Hey, Jono, how you doing? Hey, Joan. Mate, Cooper Harvey. How good is it to have a Harvey again in the AFL? Hey, I'm pretty happy about that. North Melbourne's been talking it up. It's really weird. I'm not sure. Let me know in the comments if it's the same with your club. But with North Melbourne, whenever the media starts stuff happening, you know, we could tell on Monday something was up because they started posting all this stuff talking about, oh, yeah, his VFL work last week, that was really good, you know, blah, blah, blah. And then on Tuesday, it was like, oh, yeah, how good's Harvey looking? You know, he's close to a debut, and the coach starts talking about it, trying to create that media hype. And then obviously today, there's been a few cool videos that have come out. One where Brent was there and they're on just a nice walk, right? And they're just talking and saying, hey, mate, you've done really well. You've earned your spot. And that's it. And I think sometimes father-sons kind of get gifted AFL dreams. And I think other times they really have to work for it. And I know with Cooper, it was definitely a case of, okay, this kid's worked his butt off. He's kicked, 14 goals in the last 3 games of VFL. So, yeah, it's been fantastic. Yeah, no complaints. Hey, Jennifer, how you doing? What happened to Harvey Harrison, Jennifer? Is he going to play this week? He was named as like the Medi sub and then came on and scored nothing in Supercoach. I mean, he's not needed on field for me, but still, we want our players to play, right? Do you think he's there, or do you think he's going to miss out this week or be the Medi sub again? Has there been any talk with your fans? So what have we got? We've got Buddy's last game this week. Cooper Harvey debuting. I hope there's a couple of West Coast people, mate. There's been some real there's been some real talk at the moment. It's been pretty crazy. Oh, no worries. One sec.
Actually, in his car.
Hey, Swift, how you doing?
Yeah, mate, can you hear
It's
me?
working. Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can. This is amazing.
Nice. Yeah, I'm on my phone as well, so seems to be working out okay.
I'm here at the London Tavern. My mates are going to get really embarrassed about this. But we've got the famous Grimo, who is the absolute super coach god, BBL, AFL, everything. And then we got Mon. Hey, Mon. Who's an absolute poker queen. And
nice.
now and converted footy fan, first year of doing Supercoach. So
cool.
we've converted it.
Nice.
How are you, mate?
Nice. I'm doing well. How you doing?
I'm good.
Good. I've got some silly car behind me that's decided that they're going to put their like high beams on in the background so you can see it coming through the camera. We're just talking about Buddy's last game. I think it's been announced basically that it's their last game. I'm not sure fixtures-wise if it's Sydney's last home game because it seems a bit weird kind of round 17 they'll announce it. I guess they don't think that they're going to be making finals this year. So they've come out and said, yep, it's his last game. He's going to retire after this, right?
Well, I think it's definitely his last game at the G. I'm sure they'll give him a send-off at the SCG.
But it's Sydney's home game, isn't it?
No, we're here at the. That's why I'm here at the London Tavern, because it's Richmond's game.
Well, fair enough. Fair enough.
So
then.
there's no way he's going to retire here in Melbourne, but it's definitely his last MCG game.
Yeah, last MCG game. Mate, we're just talking a bit about his career and how he'd always be the one that would just dominate like the North defenders. I mean, dominate everyone's defenders, right? To get up to 1,000 goals like he has in the modern game. But yeah, just kind of how dominant he was, and then he was really the pioneer of the first like set of real long contracts for huge money. The stuff that he's done for the AFL in general in Sydney, and yeah, just the AFL. What do you reckon?
Oh, mate, the guy's been a superstar. That to kick 1,000 goals in this era, where you've got the defensive floods and just how the game's set up these days. Like, could you imagine if he played in the 90s to that, where you had like Plugger and Gaz and Dunstall all going off like that? So I think, boys giving me crap. Who knows how much he could have kicked during that time? But there's definitely, like, I'm lucky because I saw some of those players play through the 90s. But the guy's the best player of this century for sure. Oh
yeah, 100%.
Him and Gary Ablett Jr. I think you can't disrespect him, but yeah, but he's been an absolute freak.
He'll probably be he'll be the last player ever to kick 1,000 as well, really, because I don't see it happening much with the 666 and all these other things coming through. Feels like we're in a bit of an era of midfielders kicking more goals than forwards. So, I think kind of the key forwards dying. There's Buddy. There's Tex Walker. There's not really that like player that generally will go out for a big bag like these guys used to, at least on a regular basis.
What's your comment there, mate?
Hawkins looks like he just played till he's 50, and he'll get 1,000 goals probably just through that.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll see.
Tommy Hawkins continue to play. I think what will end up happening at some point, footy will change. Like, it always goes in cycles. Like, I think you found in the 50s and 60s, it was after, like, you had Coventry and then Coleman, there was a drop-off where some of those leading goal kickers that year were only like 50 and 60. And then we went through the 80s and 90s period. So I think at some point footy will change again and you'll see bags of goals, but that might not be until like 2040, 2050. It always goes in cycles, these stuff.
Yeah, I mean, the umpires will always be giving the key forwards free kicks over the key defenders when there's a contest. So there's that rolling through as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
From a interesting night from a Supercoach perspective, I think everybody's jumping on the Mills train. So
you reckon?
I think so. At that price, are you on the Mills train?
I got him like 3 weeks ago because I needed someone around 15, so I paid 70k more, but I'm happy.
Yeah, I'm happy as well. 400k. I made a couple of decisions last week that were around making sure getting Mills. Like he looked good enough the other day when we watched the game after our other podcast. So. Back playing mid, and I still think the Suns are outside chance. So if they beat the Tigers tonight, they've got enough 50-50 games where they could still make finals, and he's such a key to them. So I think, you've got him. Naturally, Sheldrick, a lot of people have, might be loopholing him for Dunkley. I know I've seen a few teams with Melican there. They've got the loophole on him tonight. And then you've got the Tigers with like Taranto. A few people have jumped on Banks because they've needed a down to go one up, one down. There are definitely some important players in this game. I think if you're looking at your VC and your Cs, I'd be leaving it for tomorrow night. But I can see why a couple of people might be trying to just do the cheeky put on one of the Swannies or Taranto tonight, but I'd be leaving that.
Yeah, I think so as well. I know I'm rolling Nick Dacos and then rolling with Lockie Neal probably as my captain if Dacos doesn't work out. Speaking to a few Dogs players, and yeah, Dacos is just going to smash them this week. Unfortunately, I can't get Mills because I've got one trade left. So I've got 200K in the bank and Mitch Johnson ready to offload for a premium, and then going from there really. So just kind of waiting it out until he appreciates in price to his maximum amount. Hopefully around that 350 mark, and I can grab like a full and DPP player, and I've kind of got cover across multiple spots at that point.
Yeah, I've copped a little bit of flack because I've got Wines, Mills, like sort of M7, M8, but now that I've got 23rd and 24th premium in my team, I feel pretty confident because like this week Dunkley misses, so a lot of people won't have great cover. Like a few are running Marriage, where at least now I've got Darcy Cameron covering Dunkley being out. So this is what I kind of want, especially next week. I'd love a couple 1 week concussions or injuries. Not that I want to wish that on people, but that would help me boost up on the rankings. I should ask him next to me because he is the guru outside of Chris. Vice captain and captain this week, mate?
I put Slocky Neal vice captain just in case some crap happens where he gets subbed out and they're winning by 100 points. And then I've just got Laird for now because I don't have Butters, so but I'll probably put Butters or something like that.
That's what I was leaning towards when I said in the pod, and I've debating between Dacos now as the VC into Neil, but I do like the idea of Neil into Butters. But Butters playing Gold Coast, like Porter gonna smoke them.
What about Stewie Jew though? What, he's not going to inspire the troops, so he keeps his job.
Yeah, mate. It could have not worked out against. It could have not matched up against two worst teams for Stewie.
He needs to open up.
I know, terrible.
Grimo just said he really needs to open up the midfield. And that's been their problem for 2 or 3 years. It's all Took, Rao, Anderson. If it's not them, it's well, here we go, and we've got our dinner coming here. Thanks, mate. So they need to start blooding some people. We've talked about Flanders.
Like what's happened to Hollands? Hollands and Davies used to kind of be the next big thing. They picked them up in the draft and they played all right in their first couple of games, and then that's it. You almost ask for Constable to come back so they can actually get some possessions through that midfield.
Well, Constable dominated the VFL last week, so after they got smashed, it'll be interesting to see if they'll probably bring him back in now that we don't actually need him. I can see that happening. So if you've got the ability to loophole Dunkley in your midfield, Constable comes back, that might be a bit of a saviour for people. But there's talk about Hollands exploring his options, which would be another big loss. But then if he's not getting opportunities, I can't.
That's it, right? Yeah. And it's weird because they got rid of Bose because they thought, we've got some kids coming through and that kind of thing. And now the kids aren't even getting positions. So seems like a bit of a weird one.
Exactly. I'm going to do a quick tour around. But as my dinner comes up, mate, so I might. But it's an interesting atmosphere here. I'll give the quick tour.
Yeah.
Well,
there's a lot of people.
London Tavern is absolutely pumping Richmond and Sydney supporters here. So it should be a good night. It'll be definitely interesting. And also good work. And I don't know if you've already mentioned it about the footy podcast that we put out and the latest episode coming up last night. So for those people who are just interested in footy chat, that is up and about. So I think we're meeting up again tomorrow night. So I guess if any of the listeners there have any major footy topics that they would like us to discuss, send them through.
Chuck them in on Twitter or send them through on here. Definitely we'll do that.
The old AFL thinker. But mate, I'm going to head off and eat this steak sandwich. I might join you back with teams, but it should be an interesting night. And good luck to all our Centre Bounce audience for their Supercoach weekend.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks, Wes.
No problem. See you, mate.
Boy, oh boy, how was that, guys? Not too bad. Yeah, it kind of brought up a few interesting topics. we hate beating on the teams that just aren't doing well, but you look at your West Coast and they could almost be a topic every week of conversation for the last 3 or 4 weeks. What do we do? What's happening? Is the coach staying? Now it's Gold Coast again. I feel like this time last year we were almost talking about the same 2 teams, right? Yeah, it's definitely an interesting one. What have we got here? Hey, guys, how you doing? Hey, Jonas. Hey, Harry. Hey, Corey. Yeah, Dacos C. Corey. I think that's right. VC Dacos. The guy's been on a tear. I remember last week he was on something like 40 points at halftime. Come out and had a 100-point half. So, yeah. I don't think the Dogs have got anyone to stop him. They've got really no run-through players. Maybe Ed Richards does a bit of a tagging job if he can even do that now. But since Hunter left, I think a bit of their run and carry through the midfield's been a bit depleted. They're focused more on actually just getting the ball out in that contested game more than anyone else. Yeah. Doherty, yeah. Doherty or Ryan. James Doherty or Ryan. I reckon Luke Ryan. If you can pick one of those 2, Luke Ryan's the pick, mate. Go for Luke Ryan instead. Yeah, Luke Ryan's the pick. Duke, Wits C. You know what? Wits is one of those players that I love in AFL, but it really feels like he's fallen off a little bit in the last couple of weeks. Last week he didn't do that well. I think the week before he was fairly average. It seems to be similar to what happened to him last year post-bye, if you can all remember. You know, up to the bye was when he was really cheap and everyone who jumped on him was having a fantastic year. You know, a lot of people who started him, I think when Sean Darcy got injured at the start, like, you know, he was playing, came out and was scoring big numbers. And then post-bye, he went from like a 115 average down to like a 95. And it really feels like he's doing the same thing again this year. Came in and just like, yeah, I don't know if it's contributes along with the midfield, you know, a bit of a symbiotic relationship there. The midfield's not doing as well, so he doesn't get the hit-outs to advantage, that kind of thing. But, yeah, it's just not working out for him. Not sure why. Yeah, Jonas, Neil into Petrarca can definitely work. Definitely work. Unfortunately, I don't have track. And with a few other people who went early on Oliver because they thought he was coming back the week after, he's looking at you, Magic, if you're actually watching today. Mate, struggle town. Because Oliver might not be back at all this year. He's got a hamstring injury right up the top of the tendon in his leg. And then he's got 2 other injuries on top of that as well. So, Petrarca, just take the run home, man. If you've got enough money to get him, track getting him in. I know JD got him early, like round 6 and 7, and he's been riding the wave since then. But, yeah, Oliver's in trouble. Harry, Clary, so outside of having an itchy nose, which may or may not be true, not advocating anything, it looks like Oliver's out for a much longer period of time. Seems to have a couple of hot spots in his hamstring. And then alongside that, he's actually got a bit of a hamstring tear or something in his leg as well, right up near where like the tendon is on his leg. So, yeah, he could be out for a very long time, seeing how things go. I think now, similar for those people that got Harry Himmelberg, right? And it's something we'll talk about at the end of the season, kind of do's and don'ts for 2024. But you guys who had the extra trades, who jumped on Himmelberg at 370K, who jumped on Ben Keys at like 360, congratulations. The guy's already at 500K. Mills could be the next person. Conceivably, you could have bench cover that's basically a premium in all 3 positions for like $1 million. How bonkers is that? You could be 3 trades and have Mills in the midfield, Keys in the forward line, and Himmelberg in defense as cover. That's phenomenal. Last year we had it with Himmelberg, came out, finished off the season as a premium. This year, similar story. We've got Keys in that position, and then Mills as well now. So, yeah, could be bloody fantastic for those people. I wish I had the extra trades. I wish I didn't do whatever. But, yeah, save the trades, guys, because situations like this, it's bloody fantastic for those who have him. Jennifer, if you have spare trades, offload Oliver now. Jump on the AFL website, jump on the Melbourne website. All the news is saying Oliver's out for a long time. He won't be back for a while. So, yeah. Oliver's not coming back for a while. Trading Marshall or Briggs to a premium mid via DPP. Ralphie, who's your R1, Ralph? Yeah. And Jonas, that's kind of what I'm thinking about Mills too, is, yep, 400K is bloody fantastic, but he got subbed off, I think, last week or the week before when he came back. So, yeah, good cover, but for right now. Jennifer, offload him. Get Petrarca, Jennifer. If you can, you'll have a super low ownership pod. Excuse me. And you'll do very well. English, yeah, English. Look, Ralphie, I love Briggs. Joe and I have been keen on him. It just depends, mate. I can't make the thing. Maybe check, obviously I'm in the car. Maybe put it down to, pretend they're even in scoring. Put it down to who has the easier run. Maybe one of those teams plays West Coast twice or plays West Coast once. Maybe plays a Hawthorn or someone else. Or even an Essendon early because Draper's out for a while. So have a look at that and play it off who's actually what their fixture's like, you know? It might be a better decision maker outside of, okay, who's just automatically the best player from those two. Yeah. Harry, I agree. Track should have been considered 6 months ago, mate, but yeah, better late than never. Melbourne's got a pretty favourable run home and he's getting all the ball. And it's not even just midfield ball that he's getting. He's getting kicks, he's getting goals, running up through the middle. Like you think, oh, Petrarca's having a slow game. That's it. James, yeah. I got rid of Steele for Lockie Neal, and I'm very, very happy, especially because Dunkley's out for a while. But I just don't think Steele's up to scratch anymore, to be honest. I don't think I'll be starting him next year. Praise to those people that take the risk on him. But yeah, he's just looking like he's not all there at the moment. So it's very, very risky to take a gamble on the player. I wouldn't advocate it. If you can get rid of him and still have some bench cover or something, do it. Hopefully you can get a decent player out of him. Because, I mean, Steele is still a premium, but yeah, hopefully you guys can get a decent premium out of him. I think from memory he's about 430, 440. So St Kilda's in a bit of struggle too. They almost lost to West Coast last week. So yeah, it's not great. Obviously, I can't look up a lot of stuff at the moment, guys, but keep these questions coming. It's been great. I have a question for you guys in the chat. Do you feel like, let's say a player gets traded to another club because they want more opportunity, do you feel like they've got a bit of a vendetta against the club that they got traded from? I remember hearing on the radio talking about how Toby Bedford had just played Melbourne, right? And GWS won, and it was a crazy good game. And he performed well. Just kind of that feeling of, hey, these guys, when they come back and they're versing that team, that you got rid of me, I'm going to show you how well I'm playing. Remember a few weeks ago when Quinton Narkle came back, and then the next week he got dropped, kicked 3 goals, really showed Geelong, hey, made the fans feel like they, had missed something. Yeah. Do you guys reckon that there's a bit of a vendetta there, or it's just kind of circumstantial? Like, maybe if the player's not good enough, it doesn't matter as much. James. Yeah. James, I would do it. Still for Luke Ryan should be okay. Frio's in a bit of bother at the moment. I'm not sure if they're going to make finals, but with a few of those players down back that they've got injuries for, I think Luke Ryan's the one to go. Yeah. Jonas, Petrarca has only got 3 scores under 100, and I think all of them were in the 90s, like for the whole season. Like, I don't think there's a better player at the moment than Petrarca, like consistency-wise. There's a reason why he dropped to like 580K, was the first 2 rounds he scored like 98 and 89. Outside of that, he's been scoring 100 every week. And it's only going to be better with Oliver not in the team. He can't be tagged. He can't be stopped. You tag him, he goes in the forward line and kicks goals. You don't tag him, he goes into the middle and then he kicks goals. Like, yeah, it's a tough one. If you've got the trades, if you've got the money, I'd do it. 100%. Thanks, Harry. Love you, mate. Keep those questions coming, guys, while I'm here in the car. I'm probably about 10 minutes away from home, and then, yeah, I'll jump on the computer and finish off the stream there. Traffic's a pain in the butt today. Oh, yeah, apologies from Joe as well. I left him hanging on Sunday in the fan cams, and he's left me here. I think he's off to actually watch the game at the MCG. Someone gave him some tickets from work or something, so pretty sure he's in, like, the fancy corporate box today. Nah, I like the first one, Duke. Always pick the best players, mate. Always pick the best players. Actually, yeah, I would say always pick the best players, but it really just depends. Like, if you've got one trade left on 98K, it might be a better option, but I like the first one. Butters is on a tear. Port's got a fire up their butt now after losing that game. Did they lose? I'm pretty sure they lost on the weekend, last weekend. So, yeah, they'll have a crazy run home, and I think Butters is too good at this game not to have in your team if you can afford him. Similar to Petrarca. I'm pretty sure Butters has low ownership as well, so could be that real differential player that could get you into the top, the top 1K. And I guess that's kind of the run for everybody too, is that, remember, guys, this is going to be the words of wisdom while I drive at the moment. First position might be unobtainable at the moment, but jump on the computer, look at your rankings, look at your score versus the top 1,000. I can almost guarantee you that you're probably only, you'd be less than 1,000 points behind that top 1,000. 500, 600, 700 points behind. It's not crazy for you to break into that top 1K. If we can nail our captaincies, if we can nail our trades at this point, and some luck coming along the way. And a lot of that comes from having these really good pod players. Butters, Petrarca, heck, even a Ben Keys. Imagine me saying at the start of the season, Ben Keys is going to be the player that I can ride after the buys that's going to get me into the top 1K. Imagine that. How crazy is that? And I got him at like 460K, but other people got him at 300K, like 360. Mate, you'd call me crazy. So, yeah, it's definitely worth it. Don't give up. Smash it. A lot of it comes down to now your decisions in the VC and C. That's kind of the big thing at the moment. I know I lost out 30 or 40 points from having a worse captain last week. So, yeah, you just gotta be careful. Make those decisions. We've got 2 chances. It's okay. But after that, yeah, See how we go. And a lot of people are going to be having players in their team. You know, at the start of the season, right? If you pick the wrong premium, whatever, it's not too bad to start with because, you know, everyone's averaging 120 or like 115, whatever. But right now, with our premiums, everybody is going to be going for those 140 scores. So you've got to try and nail them as much as you can. That's kind of the big thing. Yep, Corey, 100%. Super pods like Dan Houston. Who would have thought? He's been phenomenal, and phenomenal for those people who've owned him. So yeah, really, really good pod pick as well. It's always weird. I hate Dan Houston because he comes out of nowhere and just decides, yep, I'm going to score big this week, and it's so annoying, man. As a non-owner and just someone who watches the game, randomly picks up 20 points in a play of traffic, does a run through the middle, gets a handball on the wing, does a kick, sets up a goal, like 20 or 30 points just there, and it's just frustrating. Similar to Petrarca, like I think, oh yeah, you know, sub 100 game this week, great job for us non-owners. Comes out and that's it. It's crazy. Yeah. Ryan, get rid of Oliver, man. It's really hurt you for the period of time that you've had him now. For the, 6 or so weeks since round 11 that he's actually been injured. But, yeah, get rid of him. It's not worth. He's doing no good in your team. 600K on the bench. So what is he, 650 or 640 now? No chance, man. No chance. That is another premium that someone's got over you at the moment. Nah, I'm good, Jonas. I'm good. But thank you. You don't need to spy on where I'm driving to. I'm sorry. Yep. Yeah, there's a few players around Corey. There's a few of them. I'm a bit worried, to be honest, because I've got Mitch Johnson. I'm pretty sure his name's Mitch Johnson. I'm going to call him Mitch Johnson. MJ. Michael Jordan. But his name's not Michael Jordan. I've got him, and I'm just waiting for him to go up in price because at the moment, I can only afford a player that's like 530K. So waiting for him to go up and looking to get a DPP mid, defense mid player as cover to finish off my team. Can you guys suggest me some good DPP mid defenders who I could pick up that, you know, I probably won't have at the moment? I'm not sure if Doherty's DPP. I know Dawson is, but I've got him already. Is there anyone else who's really there? I wish Houston was DPP mid. That would have been fantastic, but it is what it is. Day, mate, I can't do it to myself again, James. I got rid of him, and then he scored like a 100 and then a 140. I can't bring Will Day back in. I'm sorry. The same with Nazire as well. These players, man, I had them at the start of the season, and it was like, yeah. And now they're doing really well. What is this nonsense? They're the only ones. Yeah, that's rough. That's really rough. What's Sicily priced at the moment? Maybe I'll go. Maybe I'll see if I can get. Yeah, Caleb Daniel could work. Yeah, I just brought Dewar in. Yeah, I just brought Dewar in. Jump on if you need to grab a mid forward. I wish I had done it over a Dewar probably. If you need to get a mid forward, Cooper Harvey's kicked 14 goals in 3 games in the VFL, so could potentially come in and take like a Curtis Taylor role. Not Curtis Taylor, Paul Curtis role in the forward line. So could be someone to jump on. 117K DPP, should play for a while, has been showing form. Like, yeah, he could definitely be a good pick for you. Mm-hmm. Anyone got any news on the team sheet front at the moment? Normally the AFL teams will put out some spoilers right now, and then team sheets dropping in 10 minutes or so, 15 minutes according to my clock here. I should be home before then. Last major roundabout, and then I'm home. Jennifer, if you can afford Petrarca, grab Petrarca. If you can afford Lockie Neal, get Lockie Neal. How much money do you have left? We'll get the chat to give you a hand to figure it out. Can you give me some options, Jen? Give me some options. Is it worth doing a cash trade this week if you have trades, say Sincotta or Diwa? Nah, Harry, you can do it. It just kind of depends on who you're doing it for, right? If you've got like 5 trades left, grabbing that type of player works. Even just grabbing a Cooper Harvey or someone, you lose 15K in the trade, but you actually get someone who's going to play. So sometimes that can be a big factor at the moment, you know, especially with guys like Harvey Harrison, who you think was supposed to be playing for a while, just not getting a gig. Oh, man. Yeah, sucks for those people that jumped on Elliot Yo. Sucks for those people that jumped on Fife. But if this year will teach you anything, it is that we do not pick injury-prone players, because you know why? They get injured. And we saw that with these 2 players over the last couple of weeks. Forgotten heroes almost. The guys that we thought, hey, at one point, they were bloody fantastic. Now we can see them as former shells of themselves. I think, and Joe will attest to this, I think next year the rule is no over 28-year-olds, because they just seem to regress pretty hard. I'm not sure how old Lockie Neal is. Maybe he could be the exception to the rule, but there's enough players under that 25 rank that, under 28, that you could probably do a pretty good starting team out of and not have to worry. Maybe defense is not as bad, but yeah. Yeah. Just to reiterate, guys, if you've got Clary, drop him. Kick him out your team. You shouldn't have had him this long, but kick him out your team. Almost home, boys and girls. Don't you just love when you put your GPS on, you have a look and say, oh, yeah, this trip's going to take 30 minutes, and you beat the time. It's bloody fantastic. Yeah. And that's it as well, Ben. I know at the start of the stream I was talking up Mills, and I still think he's a decent pick at that 400K mark, but it really does. It comes with that word of warning. It says, hey, Mills, good player. When he's on, he's on. But even the end of last year really showed us that maybe his best years are behind him. Maybe we need to get him at that super low price to be effective, because the last couple of years, man, he's just been defunct. He'll get moved around if he's fit, because he can play in multiple positions. Joe and I spoke about him in the team, not in the team reveal, in the player review at the start of the season this year. Similar to a Dawson, but Dawson just dominates in that Adelaide midfield too much to get moved around. Mills, they love him in the back line. They've even been playing him in the forward line, or at least roaming through that kind of position. So, yeah, I don't know if he goes over a 120 between now and the season. I hope he does for those people that have brought him in. But, yeah, it's a risky pick. It's definitely a risky pick. Yeah. Jonas, good job. Seamus Mitchell, I really hope... Sorry, I hate the fact that I didn't actually keep him. I think I offloaded him at like 230, 240K. And he's just been a thorn in my side ever since. It was that week that I think he had like the ankle problem. And yeah, this kid's just a freak. I wish North Melbourne was as good as Hawthorn is at picking out just like talent at that kind of medium pick level. Mitchell has been fantastic. Weddle's been great. These players really stepping up with the likes of Sicily not playing over the last couple of weeks. But, you know, ever since like they debuted, they've been fantastic as well. The odd couple of crappy picks, but outside of that, yeah, bloody fantastic. If you guys haven't seen it already, Abs has just put out a video talking about Abs has brought out a video talking about the team in the AFL that's actually worth, well, in Supercoach anyway, that's worth a good $15 million. So, yeah, check it out. I can't believe there's a team that literally has $1 million more worth of players than my team. So this guy must have not really heard, you know, not really picked any dodgy players, or at least kept them for a lot longer than what I did. $15 million, boys. $15 million for your team value. What a trip. Yeah, could get merit, Jen. Have a look. Yeah. Have a look at it, Jen. It could definitely work out for you. Essendon's got a pretty decent run home. I think they play North and West Coast again. So, yeah, Trent Rivers, the 15 million team. Yeah, I agree. Yep. Oh, look at my ugly face. Oh. You know what? While we're here and we've got 30-odd people watching, can you guys post in the chat your best AFL memory? I know that we're trying to be here and we're reminiscing like Dunkley, but I'd love to hear your guys' best AFL memory. Either it be like with a family member, or, you know, going to the football yourself, or maybe you were there at the front of the, you know, the front of the gates or the front of the fence as like your favourite player kicked a goal, or kicks like 10 goals if it was Bruce versus North Melbourne. I'd love to hear about it. Fife to Sheldrick. Yeah, Brian, I love me some Sheldrick. I think he's fantastic. You could definitely do that, and I wouldn't be too bad. Hayden. Yeah, James Hird, goal against West Coast after he had a horror week. Definitely. Me being at the Collingwood St Kilda draw. Oh, mate. That's rough. That is rough. Who else? What's everyone else got? I'm here. I don't know if you can see me, but I'm definitely here. Yep. Whee, Big J's head. What else do we have, guys? Give me 1 sec. Ham off, but I'm still here. Oh. Who else do we have? Nope. Yeah, Jen. If it's to do your last 3 trades, probably wouldn't do it. If it's going to cost you 3 trades, spend 2 trades, get rid of Oliver, but I wouldn't do 3 trades if you can avoid it. '18 grand final for mate. West Coast. That's bloody fantastic, bro. Oh my gosh, the crowd would have gone nuts. would have gone absolutely bonkers. Especially with the controversy that they had during the game as well. All right. Big J's coming in, boys and girls. Give me 1 sec. Ryan White, mate, Mason Cox tearing Richmond apart and the crowd chanting USA. What a beast. Oi. Look, it's double Big J. What is this?
There you go. All the reverb's gone. Don't need to worry about that. Thanks for joining me in the car stream, guys. It's been fantastic to have you there. Let's kick old Big J. And I'm back. Look at this. No Joe. It's just me and you guys. 24 people here. Hope you're having fun. Smash that like button too. It's been fantastic. You know what? Just want to sit here and say sorry to the fans for not having my team review out. It's been tough, kind of, this last part of the season, and I feel like I'm not giving as much as I could have. So I just wanted to apologize for that, guys. Last few weeks of the season, we've got, 7 or 8 rounds to go. Let's smash it out. We're going to have all this grand final coverage once Supercoach is finished. We've got the draft. We've got the trade period. Stick around for it. We want to grow the channel a bit more as well. Feels like the subs have been falling off a little bit, and the viewership's been falling off. So if you can, check out our stuff. We really appreciate it. Alrighty. 4 minutes until the team sheets. Let's check out the AFL website. Yeah. Double dummy. Mate, I love it. I'm going to get, well, I should be getting good internet in the next couple of weeks as well. So hopefully AFL Live 23 is actually fixed by that point, because I've got Mr. Controller here. We're going to do some content for it as well. So I bought the game when it came out. Was shocking. Couldn't even play, especially on PC versus console. So yeah, going to be doing a bit of that. AFL general stuff. We've got Fancast as well. Stick around for all the good content. But next year is going to be fantastic. Finishing off 2023 with a bang as well. Jonas, some people can't do it, man. I've got to do it as well. I don't mind it if you've got someone like Swizz who has 23, 24 premiums and probably one more trade to go and some cover. I don't mind it, but totally agree. Yeah. Hayden, would you go Tracker? Leaves him with 2 trades, 23 primos, or go Sincotta to Himmelberg? Nah, Track's the way to go. No Oliver for a long time, and he's just going to go bang every week. Track's good, Track's good for 100. We don't even know if Tuke Millen's going to come back. Well, we know he's coming back, but is he going to come back and score back to form? I don't think so. Gold Coast is on a bit of a downhill spiral at the moment. So, and players, he might be back from injury, but he's had major surgery, right? So you don't want to bring in you don't want to bring in Tuke Miller and then 3 or 4 weeks of him, he might get subs for a game because they're just recovering with him. The season's almost finished. They haven't made finals. Let's get him fit for next year. You don't want that to come in for this player that you've got. Do the Johnson to Track trade if you can. You've still got cover. You've still got 2 trades to go. So I think that's a much better fit for you. Hearing Jeremy Cameron is out this week. So annoying for people who are holding him. Yeah, I had someone at work who actually, shout out to Trent if he's watching. We'll see. Who brought in Jeremy Cameron the week that he got his 40 and then had him the week that he scored -3. So scored 50 and then had him for the -3. So over those 2 weeks, and now he's injured, right? So over those 2 weeks, he came in and scored 47 points. It's pretty crappy. Kang has won 2 games under a kick and lost 13 games in a row. Yeah. Yeah. Kangaroos should get a decent priority pick, but the AFL won't do it. If the AFL gives West Coast a priority pick over North Melbourne this year, I'm going to be fuming. Because 2 years ago, they won 10 games. And then, obviously, 5 years ago, they won the grand final. So the team's not as bad as what it is. It's just they've got too many older players and they've got to cycle out guys. West Coast keeps picking up spuds with their early draft picks. They're not doing well with the other ones. They're bringing in fringe players in a team that just can't use them. It's really weird, fringe players. There's kind of a dynamic with fringe players in a team where when you've got them, you bring them in when you're trying to supplement your list, not when you're trying to build your new list. Like Jermaine Jones is a player. He's not bad, right? SPS, they're not terrible players, but you don't bring them into a team or as a list manager of a team when you are trying to make the team better because they weren't good at the teams that they were in. It's not like they're going to leave Carlton as a B or C grader, come to West Coast and now be an A grader. Like, what do they offer? They're not cover. They're not bench players. This is a guy who you're trying to bring in to bolster your team and make you better. It just doesn't work. Yeah. So Cameron might not be back this week. Marek, it really just depends on who they're playing and how many goals they're going to kick. So we'll wait and see for that. Butters or McRae for Oliver? Don't hate me, but I'll pick Butters. I wish I almost didn't bring McRae in when I did. He's been okay. But Treloar's really hurting McRae's scoring, taking a lot of that mid ball and the contested ball and just kind of the transition ball that McRae loves. So Butters really doesn't compete with anyone, only himself. Maybe Rosie a little bit, but not really. McRae's been struggling a lot since Treloar's come in. So if I had to pick someone, it would be Butters 100%. And I think Port Adelaide's going to have a tear home. They're going to have some monster games to finish off the regular season as well. North has 2 wins, 3 wins, and 2. Yeah, exactly. And then the year before that, we were almost, I think we've been bottom 2 4 years in a row. So, yeah, something's got to change. Give us some picks. Do something. I would love if the AFL didn't even give us picks. They just allowed us to pre-list those Tasmanian players that are coming through. And we can guarantee that they're going to be ready, at least be able to be traded into the new Tassie team as well. Yep, that's fine. Team's out. Cool. One sec, everybody. Teams, A. So we know from, hopefully, let me go if you guys can see how that works. No traders, thanks. I'm doing my stream. We don't need to watch the traders. So obviously, you know, from this game, Presti is in, Master Martin's in, Bauer's in. So they've actually got 2 new players coming in. Maurice Rioli's in, and then Franklin and McCartan in for the Swans. So where is Banks? Banks is like a bit of a Jaden Short clone in there as well. So I think that's why he's in. Hopper on the bench, Maurice Rioli on the bench, Bauer in the forward line, and then where is he? Big Buddy Franklin. There we go. Callum Mills named as a follower, so could be a good option for those people that have got him. Goulden on the wing, which is great at. Rowbottom in the middle. So who's your guys' picks for this game? I want to pick Sydney. I think Richmond's going to win, but I want to pick Sydney just for the feeling of, hey, Buddy's last game at the G. The game this week. So tomorrow's game. Zorko's back. Gunston's back. Madden's in. Jared Lyons. I wish this was the GWS Madden. It's not, but that'd be kind of cool. McGovern and Tim Kelly in for West Coast. Cheese out. Ford's out. Yeah, Josh Dunkley's there. Lincoln McCarthy got suspended for jumper punching. Sucked in. Sam Banks. So Sam Banks is a Tasmanian player. He got picked up pick 30, I think, last year. I know North Melbourne were looking at him. A bit of a good halfback flanker type clone. So I think Jaden Short might be out. Let's have a quick look. Oh, yeah, Jaden Short's out. So Banks should play. Let me try and fix this because I think the teams are all a bit wonky. Yeah, they are. No, that's cool. I skipped one. Who's your pick for Brisbane Lions West Coast? Obviously, I think Brisbane's going to win. Yeah, I know. PG, I'm coming. I'm getting it. Ross and Francis are the subs for both teams. Cool. Ed Richards in, Anthony Scott, Hannon out, and then Ash Johnson and that's a big one. DeGoey. Maynard, Myercheck, Harvey Harrison. So that's a bit tough on Harvey Harrison. And he's not even named emergency. Wow. That's rough. You'd think that Anthony Scott ends up being the emergency for the Dogs. But who do you guys think is going to be the emergency for these guys? For the Pies? I almost feel like McRae might come back and end up being the emergency. We'll see. It could be his first game. Because I know he's been pushing to play, but also might end up getting traded as well just because he's not playing much. So we'll see what happens. And Ginnivan as well. There's teams circling for him. Jen, is Ginnivan going to go, Jen? Let us know in the comments. So, yeah, we've done the West Coast game. Cool. Who's back? Oh, DGV. Yeah. So, Lockie Whitfield's back. Haynes out. And Angwin, the sub, is out. Hopefully no one had him. Or people have got him, but hopefully he's not going to be Dunkley cover. Otherwise, that might hurt a little bit. Granger Barras is in. Inkley's back. And Brockman's back. So, what is that? A defender, a winger / halfback, and then another forward. So, Angwin's out and Haynes is out for the Giants. Harvey Morrison's out. Lloyd Meek's out. Brewster's out. And Sam Butler's out. It's a bit rough because I think Ned Reeves is the only ruckman they've got. So Briggs could have a pretty decent week this week, everybody. If he's only versing one player. He's not getting double teamed by Gawn and Grundy. He could have scored 100 points last week. I think he probably will this week. Cool. Up now we have... Oh, look at this, boys. Took Miller's back. Took Miller's back. Took Miller's back. So Rioli's in. Lockie Jones is in. Sam Hayes is in. Stinny's out. Burgoyne's out. Narkle's out, mate. That's pretty rough. Riley Bonner's out. Took Miller's out. In. Ben Long is out. And Malcolm Roses is out. So is he named on the bench or named... Miller, where is he? Can anyone see? Anderson. Yeah, Took Miller half forward. So, yeah. Resting him. Resuscitation. That's what we're getting. Who's your pick for Port Adelaide? I mean, everyone knows Port's going to win. GWS should win this game. Lions should win there. And Doggies and Collingwood's probably the biggest one at the moment. Who you guys think is going to win? There we go. Ooh. St Kilda versus Melbourne. Jack Billings, Zane Cordy, Zach Jones in. Bradley Hill, Jack Higgins out. Josh Battle out. And Ryan Burns out. So, bit of a mixed bag there. Charlie Spargo in. Fantastic. James Jordan in. Mate, this guy's going to get traded at the end of the year. We'll see. Hopefully someone will take him and he'll be a superstar. Tajro Woden's in as well. If you have a look at the stats, I think he had a monster game on the weekend. Something like 31 touches, a couple of goals and some clearances. So, yeah, he's really earned his spot. Fritsch out, injured. Harms out. Joel Smith out. And Chandler omitted. So, I know he's been in and out of the team. I think he's basically swap for swap with Spargo as well. And, yeah, a couple of milestones too. So, Jack Steele coming from GWS. I know you St Kilda fans will be like forgetting that he came from that club. He's always been ours. 150th game, so fantastic. And then Salem 150th as well. So congratulations there, especially for someone that has had his injury troubles in the past. So to get kind of that to milestone is pretty good. Essendon. Ooh, I thought that was the other Himmelberg, but no. Nick Bryan's in. Nick Hines in. Nick Cox is in. All the Nicks. The three Nicks. I know Joe will make a bit of a joke about it, but the three Nicks are coming. You could probably make a bit of a band, right? The three Nicks. Himmelberg's in for Adelaide. Schoenberg's out. Balas is in. And Patrick Parnell, who I know has had some injury issues in the past. Jordan Butts is out. Got smashed. And then Balas is the... Anyone Adelaide fans can tell me about him? I'm not sure. I got it. Oh! Boys! Banfield's in. Corey Wagner's in. I've got to check if he's actually going to be named on field. Carl Warner's in and Sam Sturt's in. Nat Fyfe injured. Carl Warner new. So Alex Pearce, 100th game. Someone tell me where he used to play as well. Lockie Cowan's in. Cottrell's in. Tom DeConning. So Charlie Curno's 100th game. Just crazy. Oh, look at this guy. How's he only played 100 games? Like, come on. Nick Newman, 100th game as well. So let's quickly check. Or is he named on the bench? Oh, all right. So he's named there. So, you know, we'll see. Maybe he'll get picked. Maybe he doesn't. But at least he's in kind of the talk. Yeah, picks for Freo Carlton. Probably the game of the week that is going to be the toughest game to pick, right? Who's going to win? Freo Carlton. Guys, let me know in the chat. 22 people watching. Some people comment down below who's going to win. Freo Carlton. I'm going to pick Essendon versus Adelaide, especially at Marvel. And St Kilda, I think you've got to go Melbourne. As much as I love Caminiti, I think Melbourne's too good. Okay, this is a big one. Oh, Oyson Mullins back. I should have put him in my team, but I didn't, and it hurts. Brandon Parfitt's back. Mark O'Connor's back. Mitch Nevitt's back. Oyson Mullins back. Dempsey's back, and Menegola. Wow. Look at all of these players and tell me what they have in common. Outside of probably Mullen and O'Connor. They're all really good half forwards that like to run. Geelong is going to play super quick this weekend. Isaac Smith out, Kolajasny out, Jed Buse is out. Lazzaro's in, Cooper Harvey's in, Perez is in, Lockie Young's in, and Tristan Cherry's in. So we'll see what happens there. Maybe Goldie ends up getting a friend this week. Liam Sills is out, injured, and then Will Phillips. If you guys haven't seen the pictures of Will Phillips getting like punched in the face by somebody, it's pretty fun. Cooper Harvey's in as well, so bloody fantastic. Where's everyone named? Oyson Mullins here, so hopefully he doesn't play. Makes me not feel too bad about him. McKay, Tarrant Thomas, Harry Sheasel in the back line. Harry Sheasel in the back line. Tarrant Thomas in the... Mate, what is this? Future stars of the club. And then we've got Luke McDonald. Future pooper of the club. Eddie Ford named on the... I think Clarko's back. Look at all these nice players playing in positions that actually do well. I know it's Geelong and we won't win because it's at home, but I've actually got faith for the last game of the week. Look at all these good players. Next year, our team's not going to be crap. LDU's named in the midfield. Bailey Scott. Zerha's there. Tucker, Stevo, Cooper Harvey. 2 or 3 goals, please, and I'll be very, very happy. Nick Larkey, full forward. And then Paul Curtis as well. So lucky Paul Curtis stays around. Mate. Corey, look at that. Goldie's been relegated to the interchange, mate. When does that ever happen? Yeah, I reckon Goldie's gone. Coleman Jones probably plays. Bergwin. I think we've got to keep Greenwood. And then that could hurt a few people. To be honest, I could end up having a donut this week. I hope Wagner plays. I'm going to put the emergency on him because Jack Siebel named emergent on the bench. You'd hope he plays. I think he's the better of the players there, but his decision making the last couple of weeks has been pretty average. So we'll wait and see. Hey Cheese, how you doing, mate? Ben Long finally dropped after being terrible all season. And you know what? Constable doesn't even get named. What is this nonsense? What is this nonsense? All right. Let's do my footy tips, everybody. 1 sec. Got a bit of a thing going at work. So 1 sec. Log in. We can do my footy tips. I am ranked 23 out of 38. What is this nonsense? All right. So we're picking Richmond or Sydney, guys. I'll let the chat decide this week. Richmond or Sydney? Let's go. Nope. No. Okay. All right. I'm going to go Sydney. Buddy's last game. Sports Nut. Dunks, trade or hold? I think you got to hold him. 1 or 2 weeks is not a big deal. I think he looked okay, and then he just got, subbed off halfway through. So I think he'll be fine. Yeah. I reckon Goulden's in for a big game, but I won't pick him as V or C this week. I think you can do better with Nick Dacos as cover for that VC option, or at least Neil coming into the third game of the week. Collingwood, I'm going to pick against Bulldogs. Bulldogs is having trouble in Collingwood. Brisbane. Who's going to put $5 on this game? Who is going to put $5 on this game? $34. It's never going to happen, but $34, man. That's a lot of money. GWS, I think, end up beating Hawthorn. Who was it? Deepay. Are you still in the chat, Deepay? Let me know, and I'll show you my team. Show me the team, Deepay. Be here in the chat. St Kilda, Melbourne. I think I'm going to go Melbourne. Port, Gold. I think I'm going to pick Port. Geelong. And Essendon, Adelaide. That's a big one. Yeah. That's it. If Zeebs doesn't play, how on earth does McDonald? Yeah. And that's the issue too. A lot of fans have been saying that at the moment. Is just Luke McDonald seems to have regressed a little bit. Okay, he does okay one-on-ones against kind of those medium, smaller opponents, but his kicking, his stats have just been terrible. If he wasn't the captain, I don't think he plays. And the sad part is North Melbourne's contracted this guy for the next 3 or 4 years as well. So he got a big contract at the end of last year, I think, or the year before. 2026. Like, unless the kids are phenomenal, I just don't see him not playing, which is crazy. Yeah. Who's your pick, guys? Essendon or Adelaide? I know Cheese loves the Dons. If Joe was here, he'd say the same thing as well, but, mate, Dons or Adelaide? Give me a pick, guys. Dons. Corey reckons Adelaide. Dons. Jennifer says Adelaide. Anyone got anything else? Close. Dons at home. Okay. All right. Cheese. All right. I'll hold it on you, buddy. You say got to go the Bombers. I'll hold it on you, yeah? Essendon, done. Freo Carlton's the next one. Freo at home. They've got a ruckman. All right. Freo at home. Done. All right. My question is, guys, before we finish up the stream, so we'll probably finish up in about 10 minutes or so, do you guys want to see my team, what I'm rolling with kind of with the last little bit of Supercoach left? Let me know. I'm happy to chat, happy to talk Supercoach for the next 10 minutes or so, but I'd love to show you guys my team and how I went this week. So let me know in the comments if that's something that you guys are keen for. Wits is C, AJ. No. No. I think the Blues are fantastic. Yeah, maybe I'll put the Blues. We'll change it over. No dramas. Hey, oh, we've got one there. Double dummy. Show us. All right, let's go. Let me just make sure that zoomed in properly. All right, that's easy. Cool. So this is my team at the moment. Last week we scored 25-30. So not too bad. It should have been a lot higher, but I think, as you can see from the team in the next page, I ended up picking Dunkley. Yeah, I think Dunkley or Bontempelli captain, and it really hurt when a lot of my other players like Nick Dacos scored 30 or 40 points, a lot more. So, yeah, it's tough. And that's what I was saying in the car before, right? You've got to get these guys, you've got to get these players who nailing the captain this late in the game. I'm not happy about this top 4%. Yeah, it's top 4%, but 8,000. Like, the starting team was atrocious. What's really hurt me this year, though, has been a lot of these players who I should have kept for a couple of weeks longer. And even just doing the trades, like when I brought Zach Merritt in, more expensive. When I brought Humphrey in, more expensive as well. If I had kind of not jumped the gun on some players and then did some other things, I think life would have been a bit easier for us. Yes, I got rid of Setterfield at a good time. Got rid of Hopper at a good time. But overall, it's probably not the best thing ever. This is the team at the moment. So let's take Dewar off. Let's put Wagner on. Dewar's probably going to play. Backline. So Dacos 149. I did not vice captain him last week. Tom Stewart 147. Dawson 102. Sinclair 116. And then the two North boys as well. So there you go, Corey. Nice. Next year's going to be better. Trust. Wagner, obviously on the bench, who's been a real pain. I want this guy to go up in cash. Dewar I bought in last week as well to cover. Who was out last week? I think I got Dewar in and then Keys in last week. I think that was the play. I got him at 460k. Bontempelli 114. Zach Merritt. So look at that. Already, I picked. Who did I pick? I picked Bontempelli captain last week as a 114. All right. Dacos, Stewart, Zach Merritt, Neil all scored more than Bontempelli. Like, this is what I'm saying. That's 30 points I've lost. That's 50 points I've lost. That's 30. That's 30. Imagine if I had got 50 points more from going Zach Merritt. I mean, like, no one picked him, but it's tough. Merritt, Rory Laird. Someone from North Melbourne was going to tag someone, and obviously Laird didn't score that well. Neil, 143. He's going to go ginormous this week. Taranto, 72. Crappy game. Hopefully he bounces back. Brayshaw, 80. What a pooper. Tom Green. This guy is bloody fantastic. Anyone would pay 2 first-round picks easy for this beast of a man. Probably 3. It's crazy to think, but I reckon Tom Green could almost be worth 3 first-rounders. At North Melbourne, I would give up. Tell me, right, Corey, would you do this, right? If GWS wanted to offload Tom Green to North Melbourne, I would give up, pick 2, and I would probably give up our first rounder next year and Port Adelaide's pick this year to get Tom Green. Like, this is how good this kid is. The right age, the right domination, how many clearances, how many tackles. This guy's a freak, man. Better than Tim Kelly. Better than the Tim Kelly trade for what it is, because he's not a roaming player. He gets the ball himself. Let me know in the comments. How many first rounders would you give up for Tom Green? I had Dunkley on field, got tailored up. I think he got tapered up, something like 17 points, which is fantastic. Johnson, 70, which is great. He's the emergency cover for Dunkley this week. In the rucks, Rowan Marshall, 104, average. Kieran Briggs as well. I think it's his only score this year that hasn't been over 100. So versing Max Gawn and Grundy. I know he gave away a couple of frees right at the end as well. So, tough game, but to get that score versus those two is ginormous. This is where the team kind of falters off a little bit, and that's especially with this pick here. If I had him as cover instead of being on the bench, like a Taranto there and an extra midfielder, the team would be looking a lot stronger. And sad to say, our starting team kind of didn't allow us to do that. Goulden, 124. Great, coming off his West Coast domination. Rosie, 141. There's another player I could have VC'd instead of Bontempelli. McRae, 107. Cornelio, crappy score. Ben Keys, phenomenal. Just dominating, getting all this mid-time. It's fantastic. And kicks goals. Mid-time and kicks goals. Yep. Darcy Cameron, 61. And then Marek, I think we ended up having cover as well. So, yeah, 76 from this kid. It's not too bad. It hurt a lot of people too because he was a late in. So those people that didn't bring him in avoided that 76. So it's a bit of the Dylan Williams trade as well. Cheese, 100% understand. He was on 100 plus. I think he was on like 108 and then gave away the free kicks and then really dropped off. So, yeah. All right, guys. Last 5 minutes. If you guys have any questions or anything that you want to see from my team, happy to do that. But this is the team this week. So, yeah, doing okay. It's not too bad. Just coasting on until the end of the season, really. You've seen from my progress that the starting team really hurt, and that's something to figure out for next year as well. Is good starting team fixes everything. If you miss out on the players, if you don't set yourself up for success, get some more guys in who are those first round picks. This year we had so many that were very, very, very good, and we just missed out on them. So yeah, it's not great. Took's break even. Can I search from here? I'm not sure. Surely I can. All right, that's all right. Hey Ben, how you doing? Thanks for jumping on, mate. As I said in the car stream, I wouldn't be getting on Took Miller now. Yes, he's got a low break even, but when players come back from major injuries, it's really, really hard for them to come in and be fantastic straight on. So he might end up dropping to 530K at some point before he really bounces back. These scores are fantastic, yes, but like 8-week surgery, first game back, I don't think he's even played VFL. It's really tough to perform at that high level. Break even of 170. What are you guys saying? Late to chat. Got to trade Clary. Yep, Julie, 100%. He's got to go. He could be out for the rest of the season. And to hold on to what, 630K on your bench, it's too much. Chuck him in the bin. You should have done it a few weeks ago, but you got to get rid of him now. Double dummy. Yep, fantastic. Go Clary to track if you don't have track. Yep. No, I think just Laird's very good, and he just comes in and is just like, hey, when Adelaide do well, Laird's okay with taking the attention, and that's what's happened in the last couple of weeks. When they're struggling, he'll jump in and do his part. I think Key's doing a little bit of that midfield work has hurt him too, but I think Laird's just not been that good this year, to be honest. I might just not start him next year. So, yep, we'll take it. We'll get him at 530K or 550 later on. Just a crappy year for him. I would give 2 first-rounders for Barras. Nah, I'm good. You can always pick up half-decent key defenders or defenders from the VFL. Teams just don't do it. Melbourne does it. They look fantastic. Other clubs do it. They look great. It's just North Melbourne are no good like that. 2 100s and he dropped 70,000. There you go. And Julie, weekly round review. I just did a tiny bit then. I might put it out for use tomorrow. So weekly round review out tomorrow. So sorry it's been late. Yeah, that's my mistake. There's no excuses there. So yeah. Alrighty, guys. Might be able to get Will Day or Sheasel for Took. Yep, done. All right, that's the stream for tonight, guys. Like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. And check out Fancast as well. You should just be able to YouTube search Fancast AFL. You'll see the content we're putting out, doing something every week. We're on Instagram, TikTok, all that fun stuff. Some real personalities, guys who have big channels on the AFL, who are pumping out good content and love what they're talking about. So I'll see you guys on Fan Games on Sunday night. Let me know how the teams are going. Hopefully your captains are good. I'm going Dacos into Lockie Neal. So week off, so day off tonight, watching footy, and then kind of ponder on what's happening tomorrow night. All right. Catch you guys. See you in the next one. Happy Thursday coming into Friday. Have a good night.